Welcome back, everyone. Hawaii winning the first set 25-17 and also the second set 25-17. Let's take a look at the McDonald's match stats.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, Pacific has done a really good job of playing pretty solid volleyball offensively. They've only got 8 errors. They only got 7 errors. Hawaii's got 8 errors. But look at the kills. Hawaii with 35 to Pacific's 19. That's 16 more terminations that Hawaii's got. And the kill percentage, Hawaii hitting 397 to Pacific's 190. Blocks, Pacific out blocking Hawaii. In the dig category, though, Hawaii out digging Pacific. Aces, you'd figure that Hawaii would have more aces. They've been really serving the ball well, especially Hartong, Maeda, and Croson. Because I think we're going to take a look at some new players in set number 4, especially in the way of Calais Adolfo. But the other thing, an interesting stat that we didn't see there was Kalani Davison. We were talking earlier about what she does for the team, not only hitting and blocking, but what she does passing and digging. She has 11 digs, twice as many as any other player on the floor.
And she really,
that's amazing.
You know what she does? I think really sets the tempo because she can play at different tempo. And her leadership by her tempo affects everybody else.
Yeah, she and I actually had talked about leadership earlier about how to lead, and she admitted that she's not a vocal leader, but she much prefers to lead by example.
Maeda to serve. Adolfo now in the lineup for Hawaii. Ball is hit over by Misa. That ball goes off Satele. So that is a point for Pacific. Look for Misa to become even more active.
What a turnaround for Misa. 7 kills now, hitting almost 300. So big turnaround from last night where she had more errors than kills.
Gillian Howard has come into the game for Pacific. Howard able to get it over and down.
Howard, a freshman, had a pretty good night last night as well. 4 kills, hit 600. Surprised she's not getting action until the 3rd set here.
Howard serving, Danielson, Uiato, and then Hewitt.
Well, that's been the story of the night for Hawaii, the middles. The 2 middles have been hitting like 650 between Hartong and Hewitt, hitting over 650. That's incredible.
Satele to serve. Matsuoka in defense. Misa gets it over there is Satele, but Uiato in spinning toward the net puts it into the antenna.
That was a pretty good pass by Matsuoka there. She's actually shaking her hand right now going, oh, wow, that hurt. She passed a Satele jump serve with her hands.
Danielson, Uiato joust, but she runs into Sanders, and Sanders able to win that, and it's 4-1 in favor of Pacific here in the 3rd set. Croson, Maeda. Here's Croson. That ball in the air by Matsuoka. Cowden goes to Misa. Outside to Croson, and Croson gets the touch. And that is a point for Hawaii. 2 will be serving 4. Now Greg Gibbons says, what?
It's a little bit reminiscent of the 1st set where Pacific jumped out to an early lead.
Croson gets it in dug up by Matsuoka. That ball is hit over by Sanders, and a violation by Hawaii.
I've really been impressed with the back row play of Matsuoka. She goes out and takes the bench, but she's come out and got a lot of balls. She passes well, brings good positive energy onto the court for the team.
Misa puts it into the net. Matsuoka, to finish the problem hurt. She couldn't play last year because of a knee injury, and she's still wearing that very heavy brace. But she gets around pretty good. Serving is Hewitt, dug up by Torres. Clancy, that ball hit over by Sanders. There's Danielson, dug up by Torres again. Sanders goes outside to Birch. Uiato, step out. That time Adolfo, that's blocked back. Croson in the middle. Dug up by Cowden. That's hit over by Misa. That almost knocked over Hewitt.
That's a big-time hit right there. That is one big-time hit. This is the kind that she's got to pass out helmets if she's going to hit like that at people. Wow.
Torres will go back to serve.
How about Torres going from middle blocker in high school, outside hitter her first couple of years at Pacific, and the last 2 years, libero.
Danielson off the block, saved by Uiato, backing up Satelli. Feeds Croson. Croson gets it over. That ball is put over by Birch. Satelli. Uiato outside to Danielson. That goes off Torres. Rat-a-tats around.
There's that hit in between the two blockers. Kanani has a knack of finding the holes in the block like that, but credit Pacific for keeping that ball alive 6 inches off the ground.
That ball comes over. That's off the block. That's a point for Hawaii, and it's 5-6. Hawaii trailing by 1. So Uiato will serve. Dug up by Misa. Clancy. That ball hit over. That went off Danielson. Good hit by Birch. Birch made Danielson lurch.
Birch having another solid night. She's the second leading attacker. She's got 8 kills, only 2 errors. She's 1 behind Misa.
Clancy serving. Uiato. Danielson. Oh, yes. That serve by Uiato was very, very effective. And then Danielson just filling in the end of it. Hawaii trails by 1. Serving will be Danielson.
Uiato's setting is getting more and more precise.
Misa, Clancy, Birch hits it wide. Almost hit Dave Shoji. We're tied at 7 in the third. Hawaii leading 2-0. Kanani Danielson to serve. Misa, Clancy, step out. That ball comes to Birch, gets it over Hawaii with the advantage now. Uiato, Adolfo, and then that ball is hit almost straight down by Satelli.
You see Adolfo with a nice swing there. The overpass right to Satelli. She's ever the alert player.
Danielson serving again. Outside it goes to Birch, and she solves the double block of Satelli and Adolfo. Tied at 8. Matsuoka comes into the back row. She will serve for Pacific. Runs up, serves it. It is wide. Hawaii takes the lead 9-8. Hewitt reports for duty in the front row along with Croson and along with Satelli. Serving will be Maeda. Back up by Misa. That ball is blocked by Hewitt. Off the hit that time by Howard. Then Misa comes back and gets the touch on a cross-court gem.
And how about the quick hands over there by Pacific, especially the hands of Matsuoka. She pops up right there with no spin at all. And Misa savvy enough to find the corner. Great play by Pacific.
Serving will be Gillian Howard. That's out. So Hawaii first one to double digits here in the third set, 10-9. Dave Shoji talking to Kanani Danielson in the back row. Serving will be Satelli. Satelli gets it across. Torres, Clancy. That ball is hit over. Croson, diving dig by Misa. Torres double hands it over. Hawaii now with the free ball. Hit by Hewitt. That's dug up by Matsuoka. Ball is hit over by Sanders. And that's blocked, but it goes out. So that's a point for Pacific, and we are tied at 10. Serving will be Cowden. A ball put over by Danielson. Diving dig by Torres. Comes over. Maeda is there. Uyato. Danielson. That goes off Torres. That was a shot.
The game shows he's really got this back row attack working. And it's working well because the pin hitters are hitting so well. The blockers for Pacific have got to go wide, which leaves the middle wide open.
Sanders on the step out score. Tied at 11.
Sanders had a big night last night with plays like that with 12 kills.
Misa serving for Pacific. Dug up by Croson. Uyato goes cross court. Danielson. That's dug up by Torres. Cowden gets it to the middle. Hit over by Misa. Hawai'i now with the free ball. Uyato goes outside to Danielson. Takes something off. That'll be returned. They go to Birch. That's off the block. Saved by Satele. Chased down by Uyato. Danielson. That comes right back over to Maeda. Uyato. Hewitt. Not a good contact that time. Advantage Pacific. Hit by Misa. Dug up by Maeda. Uyato goes to Danielson. She hits it into the net.
And for the third time tonight, Becca Torres dug her old teammate at Kamani Danielson in the beginning of that rally. Kamani had to put up everything she could there. She had 2 tip shots, a roll shot down the line.
Pacific leading by 1. Step out Hewitt. That's in. That went by Misa in the back row, just inside the line.
Give credit Pacific for being in the right place at the right time. Their defense tonight much better than it was last night.
Tied at 12 in the third set. Serving is Hewitt. Misa. Clancy. Birch gets it over off the block and in. That's off Adolfo and Uyato. Pacific leads 13-12 here in the third set.
Birch having a good night as well. She and Misa with 10 kills apiece for the Tigers.
Howard comes into the front row. Serving is Torres off. The tape goes to Adolfo, saved by Uyato on the joust. Danielson. Danielson knocks over Misa, but Misa returns it. Croson hits it out.
What a dig by Misa. She just took a shot. Popped it up. That was a great play.
14-12. Pacific leading by 2. Hartung comes in for Adolfo. Serving is Torres. Uyato again goes to Danielson. Roll shot. That's in. That got down in front of Birch.
It was a better roll shot. She hit it toward the off blocker, which is a better location, I think, than her last one as she did down the line. Kamani's getting better and better at moving those roll shots around. Keep that back row defense on her honest.
Uyato serving. Ball hit by Birch off the block. Saved by Croson. Uyato to Danielson. And that goes off Torres. How many times have those two been on opposite ends of big shots?
And they won 3 state championships together as well. Under the guidance of Chris Blake up at Kamehameha.
Tied at 14. Misa. Misa over and tapped down by Hartung. Hawaii leading 15-14 in the third. We're not done yet. Hawaii leads 15-14 in the third set. Take a look at some of the play of Kamani Danielson.
She's just so effective on that left side, and she's also effective out of the back row because of her leaping ability. She can hit it deep cross court. She gets it straight down. She hit the angles.
Birch gets it over, dug up by Croson in the back row. Uyato goes outside Satele off the block. That's saved by Cowden. Ball is hit by Birch, blocked by Danielson. And a double hit called on Birch. Hawaii with the point, 16-14.
You got to credit the Pacific team. They've just been battling, especially games 1 and 3. They've gone toe-to-toe with Rainbow Wahine clear up until the mid-teens.
Good dump shot that time by Clancy. Dave out of his seat again. 16-15, Hawaii leading by 1. Clancy serving for Pacific. Gets it over, dug up by Croson. Uyato to Hartung. Hartung hits it into Birch and also Howard. Big block by Pacific.
Big block. Howard at 6'4", Birch at 6'1". They just put the clamps on Hartung.
And we are tied at 16. Serving is Clancy. Uyato Danielson off the block. That's dug up by Misa. Ball is hit over and down by Howard. 17-16 Pacific. Hawaii is going to call a timeout. So Pacific, they have some gumption. Third set, Pacific is battled. They lead the third set 17-16, but they trail in this match 2-0. Clancy to serve for Pacific. Gets it in, dug up by Croson. Uyato, Danielson again, took something off. There's Torres. Chased down by Clancy. Hitting the ball is Birch. That's blocked back by Satele. Misa in the back row. Uyato into the net, saved by Maeda and Danielson, but that'll be 4 hits. That's another point for Pacific. And Hawaii starting to have their troubles now with Pacific.
How about those Tigers playing some solid volleyball?
And Gillian Howard, who didn't play the first 2 sets, is back in the middle here in set number 3. She's making a difference. Danielson again. That ball is hit right down the line off Clancy.
Whoa. It looks like the senior captain's going, okay, I'm going to take this into my own hands. You're going to give me some line, I'll take it.
18-17 Pacific. Serving is Danielson. Outside it goes. That ball comes right over. That was hit by Cowden. 19-17 in favor of Pacific.
Cowden's only got 5 sets tonight, but she's got 2 kills in there and no errors.
Matsuoka to serve. Gets it in. Dug up by Hawaii. Ball hit over by Hartung. And then confusion on the Pacific side. 19-18 Pacific. Hawaii is going to sweep. They got to make a move right here.
Pretty good rotation because Maeda is one of their better servers. And they got Hewitt, the best blocker in the country, at the net right now.
Maeda serving, dug up by Matsuoka. Clancy goes to Misa. That's blocked back by Hewitt and Satele. Misa again pushes it down the line. And let's see, what's the call?
It's good. And how about Matsuoka for that dig? 2 in a row digs for Matsuoka.
20-18.
What a cagey shot down the line by Misa.
And she's in the front row. Look out, she's in the corner. Serving is Howard. Boy, he needs a big hit right here. Satele. That's off the block. She gets the touch.
I'm not sure. I don't think she did. I think they called the ball out. Dave Shoji calls another timeout. They're down by 3.
Linesman had the block signal up. But they have given the point to Pacific. So block with the.
Let's see if we can see if there's a touch here. We'll go in slow motion here. Watch Satele swing, and no, I don't think it hits the block. I didn't see any bent fingers anyway. Dave showed you facing a deficit here, which I don't think he thought he would face tonight.
21-18 Pacific leading here in the third set. Hawaii in a position to sweep. I mean, the first 2 sets, 25-17, 25-17 Hawaii. Now Hawaii's medal is being tested here by an unranked team.
Yeah, I think it's great that they're having this test right now. A lot more good can come from having to play from behind than just rolling through so many 3 straight and never being behind all night. I think being behind like this is to Hawaii's benefit, and clearly it's to Pacific's benefit. It's going to do a lot for their confidence right now. I'm not sure they thought they'd be leading Hawaii this late in the game. But clearly they're very well prepared. They've got a great defensive scheme, blocking schemes, and defensive setup. They're touching a lot of balls. And they're hanging with Hawaii. They got 39 digs to Hawaii's 41 digs. So they're hanging there. They're out blocking Hawaii 8-6. And kill percentage, though, they're behind by 320 to 247, so they're getting beat there. But in this game, this particular set, they're out hitting Hawaii 344 to 182. So credit the Tigers for picking up the pace.
Serving is Howard, dug up by Danielson. Croson, that's dug up by Clancy, chased down by Matsuoka. Howard, however, puts it into the net. Hawaii gets the point and they trail by 2.
The middle attackers that are 6'4" aren't used to, when they're in the back row like that, aren't used to hitting high balls. She probably would have been better off just bumping the ball over and playing for another dig.
So Telly goes out. Stauber will come in. Monica Stauber, Newport Beach, California. She will serve. Gets it in, dug up by Matsuoka. Here's Clancy. Misa. That's dug up by Stauber. Overpass. Stauber with the save. Danielson two-hands it over. Still the free ball. Misa again. And that's a point.
A smart shot by Misa there. She had 2 solid blockers up on her. The only thing she can do is go high hands, lob it over, hope to get some open court. Gets a good run up. Goes over the 2 blockers in front of Maeda.
Cowden serving for Pacific. Step out Hewitt. That'll be returned. Cowden, Clancy, and a roll shot by Misa. That'll be returned. Here's Danielson. That's off Torres. Saved by Clancy. Ball comes back over by Cowden. Uiato. And Misa. Misa hits it through the block again. Pacific has the answer right now. They have the answer.
Yeah, Danielson and Torres going at it again once again. There, Danielson ripped one. Torres popped it up. Kept the rally alive. Look at this.
Cowden serving for Pacific. That is why Pacific still with a lot of room, still with separation.
Exactly. Up by 4. They're not bad to go for it there and hit a pretty hard serve.
Croson's got to get this in. Dug up by Torres. Here's Misa. Yes.
She's feeling it right now. She wants every set.
Misa with 14 kills. She will go back and serve. 24-20. Set point. Danielson hits it wide, hits it out, and Pacific wins the 3rd set. We'll go to a 4th set.